Okay, that may be our cue to go ahead and get started this afternoon. Welcome to our admin Schoology training. My name is Sarah Scheip, and I'm one of the I'm an elementary district technology coordinator. And with me today is Rachel Moyer, who's one of our secondary district technology coordinators. And I was looking to see, I don't think that Jenny is on this one this afternoon, but Jenny Simon is our, we call her our wizard behind the curtain, because she's the one that knows all of the back end things to Schoology, and all of the questions, the answers to questions that we don't know on this side. So if there are any questions that we need to share with her, we'll be happy to do that and then get answers back. If you have questions, we are a small group, it looks like this afternoon, so please feel free to unmute and ask any questions that you might have. You can also type them out in the chat if you feel more comfortable doing that. Let me close it up for just a second. Okay, so we will go ahead and get started. Just so you know, Schoology is Schoology. We've heard a lot of Schoology, but it is pronounced Schoology. So welcome to the admin training for Schoology. Rachel, if you want to go to the next slide. Sorry, Rachel and I are usually in the same room together, but she's not now. So I'm going solo over here. So our objective today is to help you navigate through Schoology, to help you learn a little bit about your school page, and then also look at creating a staff page for yourself, or another page if you're not a principal or an AP. If you're a guidance counselor, creating a page for guidance counselors, etc. So we will walk you through all of that. And then we'll also show you how to join a group. So we created an admin training group that we will have you join today as well. So Rachel did put the link to the slide deck in the chat, so you're welcome to follow along with that. There are some links in here as well as we kind of go through that you'll be able to access. So as we're migrating from PowerSchool to Schoology, just some of the upgrades and some things that we think teachers will like and admin as well. So one nice feature that we really enjoy with Schoology is that you can add audio or video to your pages and assignments. This is great, especially for elementary students who have a difficult time, reading directions. So that is going to be available for teachers, as well as, I'm thinking like if I'm out for the day and I need a sub, I'm going to do a video at the top of my Schoology page and have all of my content there for the day. So I don't have to worry about making all these copies before, I'm out for a day to leave for the sub. It's all right there. And I can give my students directions on exactly what I want them to do. Great tool integration with third-party sites like Kami, Pear Deck, and Flipgrid. Easy access to rubrics that are already created, as well as the ease of creating your own. What's super fantastic is they have a rule creation. So what that means is teachers can create an assignment where students have to watch a video, do a discussion post, and then answer these questions. They have to do it in the order in which the teacher creates the assignment. And so they can't just go to the end and do the assignment without reading the article or watching the video or anything beforehand. So that was a big question that we had from teachers this year in using PowerSchool. Can we do that? We can with Schoology. And then they also have lots of assessments already, like questions available, and you can create, like I said, create assignments. Okay, so lots of added benefits that I think teachers will be happy with in this move. Okay.
Well, you can't forget that they will be excited that when they get added to a course, they will not get a Google Flood drive. That does not happen anymore. And
Right.
Admin does not have to be added to every teacher's page. You have the ability to look up pages without having to be on there. Now, you can't edit their pages unless they make you an admin on their page. But you can definitely go in and look without having to be a student. So that's super exciting. So when we get into Schoology, there's going to be three main parts when we're in there. You're going to start with courses. This is where your teachers are going to primarily work from. Then the next one is groups. We're going to be diving into groups today with you because every school has a group page. And then there is also resources. Resources is Schoology's own form of a drive. In the resources, it links your Google Drive. You can link your OneDrive, and then you can also store any content you have created and then start sharing that out to your different groups and pages. Before spring break, we did release the LMS consistency documents. We took the current document on learning and converted it over to Schoology. So it's going to look very similar. It's just Schoology and learning are laid out different. So it is going to look a little different, but it's the same flow, just changed. Now, the nice thing that we were able to do, teachers do not have to follow this document and create it from scratch. We have created a template that in our 101 trainings, teachers are going to grab and put on all of their pages. So then teachers just have to edit and start adding their content. So all of the parent pages, the guardian stuff, all that is created for them, and they just have to snag it and throw it on their page.
And Rachel, that's a good point. And so if you do have, I know some buildings are doing their own training, which is great. I would suggest that someone from that building reaches out to us so that we can give them that access code so they can join that group and allow their teachers access to get those templates. Because I would hate for that to be missed if buildings are doing their own PL. So if you're doing in-house PL, again, great. Just let us know so we can get you that group code.
Yeah, make it easy for the teachers. And in that group we've thrown a ton of resources that Schoology gave us for the teachers who are diving in on their own.
Mm-hmm. So
we're not going to sit here and talk at you the whole time. We're going to get you into Schoology and doing some hands-on work in Schoology. So we're going to head out to fwcs.schoology.com and you're going to sign in with your Google credentials.
And the link is in the chat. So if you just want to go there and grab it, you're welcome to do that as well.
So if you're successful at getting in, it's going to look similar to this. You might have different courses there, and you'll more than likely land on recent activity versus course dashboard. And don't worry, if you don't want the live Facebook update look, we will switch it over to course dashboard for you today.
Okay. So I'm going to walk you through the things at the tabs at the top left-hand side of your screen. So at the top, you will see the FWCS kind of home page button. And when in doubt, you can always just click there and it takes you right back to that page when you first came in. Next to that is your courses. And Rachel talked about that a little bit earlier with courses. This is where teachers will house their content. So what students will see is similar to what you see today. So they'll see their, if they're elementary, they'll see their gen ed teacher, their PE teacher, their art teacher. High school, middle school students will see all of their different courses that they are enrolled in. So they will see their courses here with these icons, just like you see. And we are working with teachers to create fun little templates to make it easy for students to know where to navigate to. So there isn't any confusion about where they go. So next to courses is groups. And like Rachel said, that's where we're going to spend a lot of our time today, because each school has a groups page that will be shared with teachers, parents, and students. So there'll be one school page that all three of those stakeholders will have access to. So you probably don't see any groups here listed yet. We are going to have you join a group here in just a second. So again, this groups looks very similar to your courses. So any group that you are have been added to manually, or you have decided to join on your own, will be listed here. Like Rachel said, groups are great for after school activities. So football, soccer, chess club, student council, all of those things could create a group and then have it housed there. I'm thinking, elementary robotics club. This would be a great place to have a group for that, just to keep students updated on meets that are coming up or practices or anything like that. If you go to the far right-hand side of your screen, it says My Groups. If you don't see all of your groups listed here, you can click that button and it will give you a list view of your groups. So Rachel's got lots of different groups that she's a part of just because we've created some, and she's got some curriculum groups there. And this is where our curriculum will be housed for next year as well. Over to the left on the right-hand side, we'll see manage groups. This is where you can join a group that's already been established, or you can create your own group. We are going to go ahead and join a group. So if you click that blue join a group button, you're going to join our admin training group. I'm going to put the access code in the link, so you're welcome to grab that and join that group. So I'll give you just a second to do that. Please stop us if you are not there yet, or you need us to repeat where we are. So just click in the access code and then click join.
And Jason, Crystal was on earlier today, so she has a ton of this, so you can get the links later.
And Jason, when you're back in the building, you can also let us know when we can put these links back up if we need to. Okay. Because I see you're outside at car rider duty. All right, so once we join that group, you will automatically go to the admin training page that looks like this. You'll see admin training at the top, fun little icon over in the corner. It automatically defaults to go to update. So listed along the left-hand side, you'll see updates, discussions, albums, members, and then resources. So we're going to come back to this this group in just a little bit when you've added, when we've gone to your school pages, because this is where we're going to pull some of those templates from. So I'm going to go back up to the top right now to our back to our tabs, and we're going to go over to resources, and we're going to connect our Google Drive and our resources today.
Hey,
So
Sarah,
you'll see, yeah.
just a quick question, because I've been listening while I've been doing car rider, but
Yeah.
when I clicked in, or the only thing I need to check, when I clicked on courses and it says that we don't have any courses, that's right. We're not supposed to have any courses yet. Okay.
Yes.
That was my only question. I think I'm caught up with everything else.
Yes, because some teachers, like if anybody in your building has done like any of the ambassador or the like teacher training that we did, they will have a course. Teachers may see a course already, like for that's their what next year's will look like, but I would not have them work in that, because that's going to go away and be reloaded for next year. So that's why with teachers, like we're having them create sandboxes to work in and then move content over, because that one will go away. So teachers may see a course, you probably won't see anything right now. So on the resources tab along the left-hand side, you'll see a couple different options there. So we've got a personal resources, public resources. Schoology is great about having lots of options out there. There's some templates that have already been added by other Schoology users. There's badges, there's icons, there's lesson plans. There's lots of material out there for teachers to grab and admin alike to grab from that public resource section. Down at the very bottom is apps, and that's where we're going to go to connect our drive. So if you click on that apps button, and once you do this, you only have to do it once and you won't have to do it again. What you should see pop up when Rachel clicked on that was the different My Resources apps, and you should have 3 listed there right now. You should have your Google Drive, your OneDrive, and then YouTube. We're going to go ahead and connect our Google Drive. So if you click on that top button, you should see a little pop-up. Rachel's already connected hers, so you won't see it on our screen, but it should say approve or allow. If you click approve or allow, your drive will be connected. So I'll give you a second to do that. If you don't see it, let us know so we can take you to find it.
And then when you do approve it, you're going to see how messy your drive really is. It's not organized like you thought.
I already knew how messy mine was. I didn't need Schoology to tell me.
Yes. First time I loaded mine, I just had lists of documents and I was like, where are my folders? So
yeah, and then Rachel had to go and change all hers.
Will you guys repeat really quickly again?
So
So
you're
when
gonna-
you go to my resources and then you go to
apps,
At the bottom.
and then you hit, it's probably grayed out for you. You select it. You're going to get asked to approve or allow.
yeah, okay.
Are you not
then-
seeing it?
Or Sarah, once I
Mhm.
hit approve, then it says, it says Google, you are connected to your drive, sign into your account. Then I've got a blue button that says connect. Go ahead and do that too.
Yes.
And then if you get ahead of the game, you can also do your OneDrive, because I know admin really like their OneDrive.
Rachel, did it work okay?
No, I don't have that on the side. I have resources. I click on that and then I have like meet the team, attendance.
Oh, okay. So I think you may still, okay. Go click this resource tab up here at the top.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying to,
bar.
I'm not like a legit administrator, so I don't have two screens. I think that's what's
Okay.
really throwing me off here, okay? I'm like the peasant in this thing. Okay, so
You're
what'd you say?
So in the
Go up
black
to
bar,
I
hit
got, okay.
resources.
See, I'm trying to go back and forth. I see. Okay, now add resources.
If you go, if you go to resources, then apps, and then you should be able to do it.
I got it, you guys.
Okay,
Thank you. Slow
Yeah.
learner.
No, you're fine. Well, and it is hard not having two screens.
Yeah.
You can, if you want to minimize, you can minimize us and minimize your screen, and that way you can see both, like a split
I
screen.
am. I'm trying.
Okay.
I have it like that, but I think my eyes have gotten worse this year, and so I'm squinting.
Well, I've had to get readers this year.
I
because I'm
know.
on my computer all the time.
All right, I'm good now. I'm sorry.
Okay, you're fine. So your drive should be connected. Hopefully everybody was able to get there. Again, stop us if you're not able to. So we're just kind of moving through this together. So like Rachel said, you can go ahead and do your OneDrive and connect that as well if you would like to do so.
And that one's
So-
a little prettier. It actually shows up with your folders.
Yes, I will say my OneDrive does look better. Again, up at the top, if you, depending on your permissions on SIS, you may see a tools option. Or you may see something that says more. So tools, you will only have one option underneath, and that's usage analytics. If you don't see tools, it's just based upon your permissions in PowerSchool SIS, because that's how Schoology decides what you're allowed to see. So under tools is the usage analytics. And so again, similar to PowerSchool and how we can see the users, the activity, various things like that.
What's the advisor dashboard? It says that, it says tools, advisor dashboard, and then usage analytics.
And I'm not, we don't know too much about that first one. What was it, user?
It
I don't
says
know.
advisor dashboard.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure how to answer that, Dan. I will make a note of that, and I will find out from Jenny what exactly that is,
Thank you.
because it doesn't look like we have anything in here right now, and so I'm not sure how to answer that question, but we can find out for you.
Yeah, Jenny Simon would definitely know that one.
I think there'll be plenty for me to get used to without it, so.
Okay. So those are your options under tools. So I think the user analytics will probably be the most useful for you. You all just, in knowing your users. So, okay. And
All right.
Rachel's going to move over to the right-hand side of that bar at the top.
So the first one is the magnifying glass. This is the search. So this is going to be a quick way to, if you're searching for a page you're a part of, or a group, or there's an assignment you're trying to look up, this would be a quick way to find it, and it'll just quickly search through all of your LMS. We recommend using 2 to 3 keywords to try to narrow down that search. Then the 4 squares, this is the App Center. So if you click the waffle, it's going to ask you to go to the App Center. Schoology does integrate with, I believe, over 300 third-party sites. A lot of them to integrate, we do need the key and secret. So we can't necessarily connect them all, but you can still link them to your page. They just may not embed into your page. We are still currently searching which ones we can connect and cannot connect, such as Edpuzzle. We believe Edpuzzle, you have to have a license to get that key and secret. So we do have a few schools like Memorial Park that have Edpuzzle, so we would be able to connect it just for that school.
And unlike Clever, teachers won't be able just to go in willy-nilly and add whatever apps they want to. We are going to be a little bit more specific just so it's not overwhelming to students. So we are working on making those decisions about what apps we're going to make available.
Yeah, and we're already having teachers email us because they're in here looking at it. Hey, I use this site. It has an app. Can we add it? And Jenny's been diving into that. Jenny is really good looking at, can I connect it or not?
Mm-hmm.
So then this third icon, this is your calendar. This is going to show all of your assignments, any events, essentially everything that is in your LMS that has a date. You can edit from right here. You can hit the plus, you can create an event, you can create an assignment right from your calendar. And then if you so desire, you could export it to your Outlook. I'm not sure you would really want to, but you could if you really want to. So then this fourth one, this is your messaging center. This is going to probably be key as an admin, since parents are going to have more opportunities to message you from within the LMS, or even the students for that purpose as well. So you can do a new message right there. You can see your most recent messages. You can go view all. So if we dive into one, you can see the conversation history. It'll give you dates, times, and then it kind of does it in that Facebook format that goes back and forth. You can send video messages, audio messages, you can attach files, and then you can even link stuff as well here. Now, students can only message with an adult, such as a teacher or administrator. They cannot message each other. Parents can actually message the teachers as well, because they will have that option to find them, or even the principals themselves.
Rachel, can I ask a question about that really quickly? Just in preparations for next year, we had gone building wide to use Class Dojo as a messaging app, not necessarily for all its behavior features, but as a messenger, so we could include lots of people on that class and things. Will it be a full replacement of that? I know that was recommended, but will it be able to do the same things that does?
You'll be able to message back and forth with parents, but the parents, it's just like Dojo, the parents would have to sign up for Schoology.
Correct, but then they will be listed under a class, so I can give like my nurse and my case manager all access to everybody, and they can see who the student is, who the parent is, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, thank you, glad to hear.
Yeah. So then this bell, this is your notification center, and it kind of reminds me of social media once again, with the way it gives you all of your notifications and where the different updates are in the page. I think this is going to be key for students to see this, to see, oh, I just had an assignment added, or I just got comment on an assignment. So now we're going to dive into your actual account. This is your profile area, I guess we could call that. So if you select your name, it'll drop down. You're going to see your profile. So some schools, they like to build profiles with their staff, give their staff badges. This would be the place to do it. To personalize your account, you can edit your profile picture. Going back to your name up here in the top right, you will also see, you will not have as many schools listed. You should probably just see the school you're associated with. So that will be your school page. This is where the school page will be housed. The stakeholders, as we said, for the school page will be staff, parents, and students. And as soon as they are listed under your school, they will automatically see it when they create their account. So if we go, you won't have to go as far down, but when you go underneath your school, you should see settings. So we're going to dive into the settings. There's 5 tabs.
Sorry, if you're not currently connected to a building, if you're an intern or like PL or something like that, you may not see a school listed there. So just an FYI. Sorry, Rachel, go ahead.
Oh, you're fine. So if you're under your account settings, you're going to fall under the account settings tab first. If you have a preferred first name, we know some people like to go by a different first name. You can put that here. So continue scrolling down. You're going to see share your Schoology calendar. So this is where you can enable it to be shared to your Outlook. And then down here under other options, set home page 2. So this is where when you first get into Schoology, I said you have the recent activity, which kind of look like Facebook, or you can do the dashboard, which is just going to give you all those boxes of the different classes you are enrolled in. So this is where you would select which one you want. Students will be able to do this as well. They by default set to recent activity, and then just make sure you hit save changes.
Hey, Rachel, I did change that to the course dashboard since that's what you guys asked for
Ooh,
students.
good. We figured students would be quicker and easier if they saw their courses versus diving into all of the updates and just reading all of that and getting click happy. So we did set them to course dashboard. Thank you, Jenny.
And Jenny, Simon, I didn't see you join earlier, Jenny. So when we were doing introductions, Jenny is our wizard. So she's the one that will answer any questions that we can't. So in just a second, we can go back and answer Dan's question about the tools.
Yeah. So let me finish here in settings.
Yes,
So your
thank
next tab is notifications. So this is where you can decide the different activity going on in your LMS, if and how you receive notifications. So do you want an email to tell you something happened on your page, or do you want a text? So your private messaging, if someone sends you a message, you can have it set to give you a text message that on Schoology you received a private message. And then a great feature is for your cell phone, you can download the Schoology app, and then you can message right from the app. You can even grade from the app, we found out. So that feature is down here under personal. So if I receive a private message, yes, I want it on my mobile device. And I believe the connection is up here in the right. So these are all good things when you have time to sit in, dive, get set up, and decide how you want to get notified. For example, Tools New Tech, this would be a great feature for teachers to say, if I get a private message, I want an email, since they may not always get on this LMS. And then you can just keep diving into the different settings to decide what can go on. If it has the lock, you can't change that setting. That is set by the district. And then if you, for some reason, accidentally delete something for your page, or you do delete it and you decide, I do want that, there is a recycle bin that keeps everything. Everything you ever delete on Schoology will forever be kept. So it's not gone forever. So Jenny, we got a question on tools. What is the advisor dashboard?
So there is a feature where you can connect guidance counselors to their students. It's quite a bit of work to set up from the back end, but that's basically what that is supposed to be for. And then for that certain specific set of students, it will give you calendar grades, attendance. So it's more for people who don't teach, but need to keep track of certain students. We have not set it up for anyone.
Okay, but that's also information that would be like in our data briefcase.
Yes, and your briefcase will have much more information, because remember, grades are only grades that are put in here. They are not grades that are put in PowerTeacher Pro, because nothing will flow from PowerTeacher Pro to the LMS. It only flows from the LMS to PowerTeacher Pro. And attendance isn't in this at all.
Okay. So this is kind of like not really useful for us, but gives better information that, or the data briefcase would give better or more information than this, correct? That's what I'm hearing.
Yes. Never having seen the briefcase, I would assume that there was not going to be much information in the LMS on this. So I would assume the briefcase would have more.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to get you on your school page. If you are an AP, the principal or the coach, you will have editing rights to this page. So it is under your name, and then it's going to be underneath your profile. And we have them all set up with the school logo, so you do not need to set that up. We pulled them from the logo repository because I know they were all updated earlier this year. So it's going to land automatically on updates. So this would be where you can put updates. Like last week for middle school, they could have put, hey, next week, blended kids, you're home, virtual kids, you're in, here's the schedule. They could link it. They could do video announcements. Then under info, you're going to see your school specific info with their address, their website, and their school phone number. Now, faculty, this will be available for parents and students. They will be able to look up any faculty member in your school and send them a message. And then resources. Go ahead.
I was just going to say with faculty, we found that a few principals have realized that there's a couple faculty members that are listed under faculty that are no longer members of their faculty. If you come across this, please reach out to either Rachel or I or your district tech coordinator with a list of those so we can get that taken care of and cleaned up for you.
And wait
And
until
maybe-
Monday because I just disabled a whole bunch of users. So
Okay.
users will start popping off there. So if there's anything after, I would say on Monday, that would be the real list that will be there.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Jenny.
Sarah or Rachel,
Yes.
who do we talk about? My logo's not on there, but is that something you talk about some repository?
Yes, we can take care of that for you. Mark, what building are you in?
Cass, Nebraska.
Okay. Jenny,
Sarah,
I-
mine
There
at
is
Price
not
is
one.
at-
There is not one for CAS in the repository.
Yeah, see,
Anyone who didn't have one has the FWCS logo.
right. So can I get mine if I send it to somebody? Because I have one.
If you have one and it is approved by the district, I would say you can use it.
Wow.
So you want to make sure that it's approved.
I hope it is. It's painted all over my walls.
We have had copyrighted logos being used in the schools.
Okay. I guess I'll work on that because it was done before I came here. So
Got it. Corey Kling's the person that you want to talk to about your logo.
who's that?
Corey Kling.
Corey
With a-
Kling.
With a K, Kling.
And then if you email it to me, I can also run over to him and make sure it's okay and then pop it in there. Actually, you can probably pop it in there yourself. If you go to the school
Yeah.
options, there's an option to upload your logo. Or no, right there.
Yep. I was just going to say, if you click on just above your picture, if you toggle over the picture, you can edit the picture. So if there's another one in the, what'd you call it?
The logo repository. It's a big word.
Yeah, that.
Oh,
If there's another one in there that you would prefer, because those have all been, I guess, approved by the district. I didn't realize that was even happening this year, but you can add a different one in there. And we don't have one for Courtney, you're at Price, right? Was there not one for Price, Jenny?
Price, I thought had pandas up there. Isn't Price pandas?
Yes, I just look like it has like a blue, maybe I'm not in the right spot because off to the left, it also doesn't say faculty. It says Price Elementary, but I don't know. Hold on, let me see if I can click something. Oh, we're good. I apologize.
Okay, good. No, you're fine. I'm glad it worked. Okay.
I remembered the cute panda.
All right. Rachel, go ahead. I think we were on faculty. We're talking about faculty. So you want to do resources?
Yes. So resources, this is similar to a course page where you can add folders and then within the folder start adding different documents, links, websites. You can embed them as a page. So we worked with the directors to kind of get a template of what they would like to see on the pages. So it's going to be at the beginning, a setup of getting it going. But once you get it up and going, it's not a lot of maintenance. And one of our last sessions, they were like, so essentially I could be embedding different stuff from my FWCS website onto this. And we said yes. So discussions as well, this is on the bottom. Discussions at the current moment is disabled. We did discuss this with a few principals, and they decided we did not want discussions open because that would not be moderated. And we did not want parents to kind of go willy-nilly with the different discussions they could have. So we turned that off and said they could use the Let's Chat if they really wanted to have a discussion or message you in Schoology.
Yes.
So at this point, we're going to have you do some toggling between two browsers. So I want you at the top of your page in this URL bar to just copy that URL and then open a new window and paste it. So you're going to have two of the same window. So if I go back and forth, I have two of the same window. So one you're going to keep on your school page. The other, we're going to have you go back to groups. And you should see that admin training group we just had you in. So you can go between the admin training group and your school page, because we're going to start taking that LMS consistency for your school page that we work with the directors on and get it over to your page. So you have a template to start editing. And some of your pages might actually already have some of it if someone else attended our meetings.
Yes. So like Rachel said, we're going to go back and forth and toggle between that admin training page and then your school page. If you do not have a school page listed, Rachel, do you want to show how to create a group real quick so they can practice moving some of those things over? Sorry, you're muted.
Sorry, I forgot I was muted.
You're fine.
So if you want to kind of practice doing the different group features, you can go to groups, my groups. So we had hit join a group earlier. Now you're going to hit create a group. So this would be great if your coach has a page or your school has a page for staff. This would be a great process for getting that staff page going. So it would be create a group. You will name it, whether it's price staff page or practice group page, whatever you want to call it.
I'm gonna be that person. Am I doing that under the admin page or my school page?
This is just creating a page for practice.
Yeah, just under your groups tab. It doesn't, Alex, it doesn't matter where you are
Okay,
right now.
thank you. Sorry, I just want to make sure I was on the right one. Okay,
No worries. I know this is all new to you guys, so totally, you guys are fine. Stop us and ask us any questions.
For privacy, set it to group. You can do invite only, allow requests, open is so anyone can find your group and just say, hey, I'm going to join it. Allow requests is someone finds it, they can request to join your group. Or invite only is they have to get your code. So this would be good if once we get students in and students start to hear there's teacher groups, oh, let me go search for it and try to join it. Where if we have it invite only, they won't find it unless they have that code. And then if you want to, you can select a category, professional group, and then you just select create. And now you have a group to practice what we're going to do with the school pages. So if you don't have access to a school page, you can practice here. Or if your school page already has stuff started, you can also do this to start your staff page.
Okay. So like Rachel said, we're going to spend some time moving over some resources. So you should now, if you go to that groups tab, you should now see two groups. One, the admin training group that you joined earlier, and then two, the group that you just created. So if you didn't create a group, that's okay. You just won't see it here right now. Okay. So if you go back to your admin training group, we're going to click there. So you should be on a page that looks like this. Again, if you need help getting there, let us know. Just go to that groups tab at the top and then choose the admin training group. We're going to go down to the bottom where it says resources. And we're going to click on that. Now what you'll see is a bunch of folders that pop up. These were kind of when we talked about district standards with some of our with all of the directors and what they wanted to see on school pages. This is kind of what we came up with. So you'll notice at the top that we've gone ahead and created folders for all of these. And within those folders, you're also going to see, you may see some different pages. Some of the folders may be blank just because there isn't any, we don't have any information yet to add to that. And there really wasn't a need to necessarily create a page template for it. But if you click on that first one, Meet the Team, this is probably the bulkiest of them. You'll see that we've created a lot of different page templates. So the purpose of this page or this folder is to share out information with families on who everyone in your building is. So who's the principal? Who's the assistant principal? And this is just a way to introduce those people to your family so they can reach out to whomever they may need to for whatever their needs are. So, you know, oftentimes I, as a parent, have a question like, ooh, I don't know, do I email the principal about this? Do I ask the AP? Is this a guidance counselor question? So this just kind of may help families in navigating some of the answers to those questions. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and move this folder over. You may already see it on your school page, and that's okay, but we're just going to do this as a practice. So if you're in the Meet the Team folder and your page looks like this, you're just going to click on, you're going to go, they called it like breadcrumbs, I think, or something, to go back to the resources. So you can just click on that resources next to Meet the Team. So you don't have to do it at the top, just that one next to it, and it's going to take you back to the last page you were on. So we're going to move this whole folder over. You may have noticed that there were pages in there that your building doesn't need. If you're in elementary, you don't have an athletic director. So we can get rid of those pages that you don't need, and we'll show you how to do that. So you're going to go to the far right-hand side where there's that little gear, and you're going to click that drop down, and you'll see some options here. What we're going to do is we're going to copy to. Above it, you'll notice add to courses. If a teacher was moving this to their course page, they would click that button, but we're moving it to a group, so we're just going to click copy. Then at the top, you'll see collection. That's basically your groups or your pages. So you're going to choose where you would like to move that to. So maybe you're moving it to your school page. If you created a page, go ahead and try moving it there. Below that, you'll see an option to add it to a folder you've already created. We don't want to do that because this is a folder. So we're just going to click no folder and click copy. So Rachel's going to copy that over to our Fort Wayne Community Schools page. So then when I go back to my Fort Wayne Community Schools page, oh yeah, and there's a little green icon at the top that said it was copied. Under resources, we'll see Meet the Team. So again, if we go back into that resource, Meet the Team, I'll show you how to edit those pages. You can go over again to that gear. And if you click the drop down next to Meet the Principal, you can click Edit. And this is where you can add in your information. So Alex, what you may on your page want to tell, tell about yourself. How long have you been the principal at Maplewood? What did you do before that? Just give a little bit of information about yourself. Perhaps list your email address, how parents can contact you, when you're available, when your office hours are, something like that, just to give them information. Once you edit that information, and if you have something already created like this on your LMS page, on your PowerSchool page, you can just copy and paste it right over to this. Once you've edited your information, click Submit, and then your page will be refreshed. Now, if you, like I said, we're in an elementary school and you don't have an athletic director, you can go over to the gear again, click the drop down and click delete. And you can get rid of any pages that you don't need. Let's say that you're in a high school or middle school and you have multiple assistant principals. You can make copies of these pages as well just by going to that gear again, click copy to, and then we're going to navigate back through to our Forming Community Schools page. We want it added to our Meet the Team folder and we can click copy. And it will make a second copy of our assistant principal. I think it's down at the bottom there. So you can make multiple copies of pages if you need to, and you can reorder them just by clicking those. And that looks similar to Power School Learning, just by clicking that reorder button at the top. So like Rachel mentioned, the only people that have access to this are principals, or that can edit it, are principals, APs, and coaches. So for some of your other, your guidance counselors, your case managers, what I would suggest is just having them send you just even an email with their bio information and copy and pasting it into that template. Any questions about that or those templates or navigating those, adding to those? Okay. All right, so if we go back to that resources tab, again, next to Meet the Team, we'll go back to resources. And we just want to give a brief overview and guide through some of the other folders that we've added. And you can move these over as you choose onto your school page. So the next one is the attendance folder. And this we thought would be a great place to house any attendance information. So adding in your attendance phone number, because oftentimes I know in the elementary school that I used to work in, I would oftentimes hear the secretary, let me transfer you to attendance, and then have to transfer over. So it's nice to have that number right there so parents know exactly what number to call for attendance. You may want to have when the late bell rings or when students are able to, enter the building, any of that kind of information. If you go back to resources again, we'll see the next folder listed with schedules. So attendance and schedules may be one you could combine or add, information to both, because those are, somewhat similar. But it's nice to have a schedule for parents so they know, again, when your building opens, when first period begins, when dismissal is, so that they can help, that might help them with their scheduling of appointments or anything like that for their students. Maybe even arrival and dismissal procedures. So if you have, a map of where kids get dropped off. I know when my kids are at Memorial, and so when, one of those first days we got, parent meeting, we got a map of how to drop kids off and where to pick them up and things. So that might be something that you add into, either one of these folders, something like that. So again, go ahead.
If you have a document, you don't have to type, you can just attach that document. So if you have this on your page, you would just hit the gear and edit. And then right here, this third icon, this filing cabinet, this is going to connect to your resources. And you can go to apps. And right there's your Google Drive or your OneDrive. And you can just put your document in there. Whatever rights for view rights you have that document set to is how people will see it. So like anyone in FWCS can view this document, will be able to see it, but not edit. So obviously parents, you would have to set it to different view because they're not part of our network.
So you want to set any of your documents that you want to share with parents to anyone with a link can view. That way they can all view that.
Yeah. So if you don't want to have to sit here, type it up, add images, you're more than happy to attach your document.
And you can also change the title. So if you don't want it to say bell schedule, for example, and you want it to be like map of arrival dismissal, you can change that as well. And again, we found in our training when we were going through this, that you aren't able to add these pages. And so use the pages that you already have there and just make copies of them so that you can add multiple things as you need to. Because you can edit those pages in any way. And we do have a generic page that we just call generic page under resources, just so you have something that you can always pull an extra page over if you need to and put it wherever you'd like under your resources. So again, just going back to this resource page with the templates, we also have a folder for nurses. Nurses may want to have their own page. We will do some training with nurses, but this is where they may post their group code so that families can join that or students can join that, because they have a lot of information, and we don't want you to be responsible for having to upload or, put everything that the nurse might need you to put on a page. And so we'll be working with them to create their own pages and how to, keep those updated. Okay. So if we go back to resources, and Rachel, you don't have to keep clicking in these if you don't want to. I'll just talk about them. That way you don't have to keep going back and forth, back and forth. The next folder is testing information. So this is great for parents, for WIDA testing, NWEA, of course, iLearn, just to keep them updated on any tests that are coming up, PSAT tests, ACT tests. So whatever kind of testing is going on or available, that would be great information to share there. Of course, athletics and clubs are listed below that. So these could be updates from your, soccer coach that tryouts are going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this week. Here's a link to the information. They may, again, choose to have their own group for soccer, and this is where you could just list that group code so students could join the soccer team there. It would also be great to have just the group code like on a flyer that goes home with families for soccer tryouts. The same for clubs. So this could just be a list group of the clubs that you have and their group codes to join. A lot of principals do newsletters. So these would be where you could just link your newsletter. So again, if you do it in Google Drive, you can just pull it right over from your Google Drive and have your newsletters posted there. And then one thing that we're really excited about below that is your calendar. So what we did, what I'm not going to take credit, what Rachel did is that she figured out how to embed your school calendar right on this page. So parents don't have to go out to our website or your website and try to find it. It's going to be listed right there. We can also do the same for your website if you would choose to embed your school's website on your page. We can show you how to do that as well. Rachel made a video just kind of walking through how to do that. So we thought that would be really beneficial for families because it's all just right here.
And we also got a question earlier. I think it was last year, there was a big push that schools put their clubs on their FWCS website or different extracurriculars. So we can also embed those specific pages, and the instructions I will put in the chat here in a minute will give you the basic instructions, which if you're not comfortable doing this, please feel free to email Sarah and I. It takes just literally a matter of minutes for us to quickly grab it and do it, and we have no problem. We have some schools who want to do it. They want that ownership. And then we have some, if you're offering, I'm taking you up on it. We are any way you want us.
Okay. Any questions about the templates or kind of navigating through this? You guys were a super easy group today. Well, sharing this information with you today, that's kind of all we had on our agenda for how and walking you through just linking to your school page, moving those folders over. That's what we just kind of wanted to share with you today. So we are happy to stay on if you have any additional questions. So we wrapped up a little bit early this afternoon. So again, Rachel and I are welcome to stay on if you have questions. If you need some extra supports, please feel free to reach out to your district technology coordinators. They can also help you in, one-on-one, setting things up. What would be, the best way for me to, get information to my staff? Because remember, with your school pages, this will be for parents, students, and staff. So you'll probably want to create a separate staff group so you can share just the information with your staff. Some principals are choosing to create courses, and you are welcome to do either. The only difference between a course and a group is that courses allow you to create assignments. So for some of our principals, they inquired about a way to have their staff turn in or share their lesson plans for the week. creating a course, you would be able to do that. So you would do that just the same way that we did it. We created a group today, except Rachel, if you want to scroll to the top, except for going to group at the top, you would go to course. And then you would go to my courses. And you would create a course. So just like with groups. Okay. So Larry, the Power School pages, we are requesting that they remain open for next school year, only for teachers to migrate content. So not for students to use. They will not have access. They will not be able to go to Power School and get on. So yes, they don't have to worry about transferring the information. Like right now, it'll close in July. No, we have requested that it remain open so that teachers can slowly migrate as they kind of build their Schoology pages. They can just pull their content over from Power School.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Sarah,
Yeah.
so I added like one of those meet the principal and just did something quick. Where do you see that at? What screen?
You should see that on your school page.
Like on the updates tab?
On resources.
Right, but once I add it, like where is it? So when parents get on, they can see it without going to resources, or is that where they have to go to resources?
They're gonna have, yeah, they'll go to resources. You may put in like in your update folder, you might put a little note, hey parents, check out the resource tab to meet our team.
Okay.
Or
to
some
help
of them
kind
you,
navigate them through. Go ahead,
sorry.
Jenny.
Some of them
Okay.
you can post just the link in the updates to the actual resource. So if you're like, here's the latest newsletter in your updates, and then it can link down to the resources.
I get it. Okay. I was thinking something that would be out on the front page, update page, but they're clicking on resources and then they can see that meet the principal, open the window up and read it. Okay. All right. I'm following you.
Okay. Any other questions that we can answer for today? We're happy to, like I said, stay on and answer questions for you.
Yeah, I have a question about the school web pages. Like, at what point will those be live to the families and the students? If I put stuff on there now, would anyone be able to see that, or is it next year somehow they get a code to access that?
It's next school year. So students will be in their next school year, and then parents, when they get their code letter with their Power Teacher Pro code and their LMS code, it will be on that.
Okay, and then if I continue to add stuff and make groups and do that this year, will it all just carry over to next year? I'm not in a sandbox right now. This is actual, I could create a group and actually do this now, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
I would not expect your staff to be using it and being actively on it until closer to next school year, though.
Okay.
So I'd still use your current mode of communication this year.
All right, thank you.
You can definitely start building. We had schools earlier asking, how do I start getting all my stuff from this page to this page? I want to start building so in the fall we can be on the ground running, ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to do training with coaches as well, since they have access to the pages.
And we did send that information out to them today, and it's also in the weekly update for just a quick coaches training. That one will just be showing them how to use this, because a lot of your coaches have already had Schoology training. So they already know how to get on, how to access that kind of thing, but we want them specifically knowing how to work groups so that they can also, not only can they maintain your school page, but then if they want to create their own group for coaching, that they can also do that.
And then if you do create that school staff page, you can manually add all your staff. And then you can decide on your staff who has admin rights to that page as well. Or you can give your staff the code if you don't want to manually add them yourselves.
Yeah, some of you have much larger staffs than others.
Rachel,
Any other questions? Go ahead.
Who's driving, Rachel or Sarah?
Rachel is.
Rachel, can you show them the code in the little checkbox where it has to require approval? So in your groups, all your codes, there is on the access code, you can set it to require approval. Do you not have access to do that on that group?
No, I think we
We
Turned it
already
off?
turned it off, so hold on. Let me try a different group.
So the groups that you want to have your staff in, I would recommend putting require approval on once we're after July and we start getting students and parents in, or else anyone can join your group. If they get a hold of your code, they can join your group. If you don't have require approval on, they just get in and you would see them in your staff list or in your member list. And there's no good way of telling a student from a staff member.
I'm trying to find a group that still has it. But I think we've got all these.
yeah.
Because it was over here earlier where you hit a box to uncheck it. But I know you can find it in your group settings.
I found it in the members area.
Okay. Neil, you said you found it in the members area?
Yeah, if you click on members.
Yeah.
It's over on the right-hand side.
Okay, perfect.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
the
it is.
require approval. Right now, you can uncheck it and just let everybody in because only staff members have access. But later on, you may want to keep students out of your staff page.
Like our integrated page, we had it on, and then we started doing trainings with teachers, and we were getting 50 requests in an email at a time. So we turned it off. But once the school year hits, we'll probably turn it back on.
Rachel, that's a great question. I don't know, Jenny, do you see Rachel's question in the chat? After you download the app, can you use your school email to log in? That is a great question because I actually tried to download the app today and then it told me I couldn't log in when I tried to use my school email to log in.
I thought there was a Google button.
I
I
signed
did it
in with
last night with
Google.
my school email. I did have a hard time finding my school. Like I had to log in for my school and that was challenging.
Yeah, you had to search up.
Common name, yeah.
Yeah, you had to look. I think I just looked up Fort Wayne Community Schools, but I'm
Okay.
not tied to one specific building.
I'll have to play around with it too, because when I was trying to do it, it gave me only two options to log in through your school or log in using Schoology.com. Those are my only two options to log in.
Same.
Yeah, if you log
Same
in
for
through
you,
your
Rachel.
school and you choose Fort Wayne Community Schools,
I tried that and it still didn't let me.
Well, I'm not going to log out then. I'm afraid to log out.
I just
Right.
logged out, so we'll see.
Okay. Rachel, stay tuned. We'll let you know.
Thank
I've
you.
been logged in for like 4 months, so, or 5
Okay.
or something. So
Well,
before we even had Google turned on. So
Okay. Yeah, because Google isn't an option. I wish it was, but it's not. While we're working on that, are there any other questions that we can answer? And again, I know we've had some people pop out because I know you've got lots of things going on in your buildings, and I know you are all busy people right now. So
And you're on day 4 of iLearn testing.
yeah. So if you go ahead, Jason.
So if we build something in resources, okay, so we have our school page, and then I just created a group for our staff page.
Mhm.
So, and then on our school page, I moved all of those different thing, the meet the team, the attendance schedules and all that. Is it going to make more sense to have people, like for the meet the team, have those different people create what they want to say in our school page, and then before I copy that over to the staff page, so I don't have to have them do it twice?
He's thinking it like Jasmine did earlier. Can I have him create it elsewhere and then I just scoot it over to our school page?
Mhm.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So wherever we're creating it, or if we're gonna add something, create something, whatever, create it in one spot and then move it after the fact. Don't create 2 different spots and then have to do double the work.
Correct.
Okay.
I have
And
an
I-
answer on the app too, whenever we're ready for that.
Jason, did you have another question or was that one answered?
That is answered. I'm sure I'm gonna have more, but I'm good at the moment.
Okay, well, feel free to reach out to me or your coordinator if you have any questions.
And then you work with Rhea, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen, but her page, she has a page and it's looking pretty awesome.
Yeah, I know Rhea and Courtney Rupert both have been working on those because they did the first initial training. So I've not seen them yet, but I know they've been working on them and all that. And
Yeah.
And so I think, as I'm learning this, my task is, I'm in control. I do our staff page on LMS. And so I think I'm gonna start really working on just building up the staff page, and then we can pull anything from there onto the Glenwood Park page as we need to.
Perfect.
I hope, if I can make it through iLearn and NWEA.
And I read retesting.
And I read 3 retesting.
And now
Yeah.
kindergarten COGAP.
Oh, I haven't seen that email yet. So yep, and kindergarten COGAP. Yeah.
I think, can we add another thing to your list, please, of things you guys have to do? Just
Yeah,
one more.
sure. Hey, add them on. I don't need to sleep. It's all good.
All right, Jenny, what's the fix?
So
Rachel,
once
are you still here?
Yes, I actually got in.
Oh, good.
Okay.
But I think that everyone wants to hear it though, so.
So once you pick Fort Wayne Community Schools, then there is a little arrow beside it. And you have to find that little arrow.
Okay.
And that little arrow will actually take you to another one that says log into your school or log into Schoology.com. You click log into your school again, and then you get the Google SSO page.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got it now.
So you kind of play hopscotch with it, but it does, there's like an extra step in the middle that you don't think of.
Okay. Thank you.
I had never logged out and to even see that.
Okay. Any other questions that you have for Rachel or I as I'm logging into Schoology on my phone? All right. Well, if there are no more questions, then we will let you all go. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate your time. Oh, I forgot to put the exit slip in there. Let me see if I can grab it real quick. Feel free to reach out, like I said, to myself or Rachel if you have any questions, or your district coordinator if you would like some additional supports or just ideas on how to use Schoology, what would be the best way for a staff page to be a group or a course. So whatever you would like answers to, we will be happy to help with that. So I'm going to go ahead and post this link. It's a little bit late because I think a bunch of people have already left, but there is a link for an exit slip. This just kind of helps us navigate through our additional training sessions and see what else you all may need or what questions you may need answered. So again, thank you very much for joining us today. We appreciate your time, and you guys have a great rest of the week, and we will see you all later.
Okay, so I need to apologize. I picked a horrible time to do this training with you guys. Dismissal was like, blah. So this is recorded, right?
This is recorded, and I am already going to send it to Carrie, so I'll just send it to you as well, Alex. You're fine. Don't worry about it. And I'll be out whenever I come out to do Schoology training for the rest. Like, if you have any questions, just let me know, and we can go through some stuff then too.
Well, I'm going to fill out this form, but just know it's not you guys. It was just, lots of things.
You're fine. Totally get it.
Station today at Maple.
Well, it's always like that, especially when you're doing it by yourself. So if you have questions specifically, there's a spot for like additional questions. Just type them in there. And so then when I come out, I know exactly what we need to talk about and what I need to guide you through.
Okay. Perfect.
So we can do that,
perfect.
okay?
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course. Have a good one. We'll see you later.
Okay, you too. Bye.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, Rachel.